Hello, 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 my fellow miscreants and maniacs out there. Syko Gamer here. And welcome to, well, I'm not really sure what to call this, really. I've been challenged, I guess, to do 21 questions. Best way I could say it, 21 questions about me, for some reason. I don't know why, it's just apparently someone wanted 21 questions about me. They tagged me in it, something that's been going around, and I'll leave a link in the description below for the person who did tag me in it. I will not be tagging anyone else. I do apologize. I won't. It's just something that if you want to do this, by all means, and then tag me and let me know, and I will watch it, because it's kind of cool, but yeah, I don't even know who I would tag, so I'm just going to leave it like that. But anyways, and normally I'd leave this to Reginald, but it was specifically tagged for me, so, well, I guess I'm going to do it. So here we go. 21 questions dealing with, well, video games and me. So here we go. First question. All-time favorite video game. And they start off with just a whammy right there. I mean, how do you do that? All-time favorite, really? Well, I can't really pick an all-time favorite. I guess it would be, what would be considered, how would you favorite something? If saying what my all-time favorite would be is what I, enjoyed and can, go back to again and again and again and play and still get enjoyment out of, I guess that would be Chrono Trigger. I'm not sure how many of you guys out there know of the game, but it is an awesome, fun-filled game adventure. Basically, you're a kid who went to a festival in his hometown, and you bump into somebody, and you go to see your friend's crazy invention, and somehow, I'm not going to spoil stuff for you, because, it's a fun game. You should definitely go out there and play it, or if you want me to, I can probably put it up on the channel. But, and they end up, traveling through time. Time's a very hard thing to do in video games, let me tell you. There's been a lot who've tried, and a lot who have failed. There's very few out there who've actually done a really good job out there with that. Chrono Trigger is one of them. Time Splitter's Future Perfect's another one. But I'm talking about Chrono Trigger. So, yeah, no, it's a cool game. I really like it. It's one of my favorites. I can go back to that whenever the mood strikes, and it's just an amazing game to play. So, alright, moving on from that, what is your current favorite video game? Now, I imagine when you say current, you mean something recent, or something that I'm playing right now. Now, that's a tough one, too, because there's a lot of the good, fun games out there that I'm currently playing, and you should know that, because there's a lot of them on my channel. But I would have to say, as far as a current game, even though it's frustrating me to no end, let me tell you, it would have to be Toy Soldiers War Chest, because it's just a fun game. I really enjoy it. It has a lot of cool elements to it. Being able to play with army men that come to life and turret-based stuff and just, it's so much fun, and it's challenging, and that's why it's so frustrating, but it's challenging and it's fun that way. So, yes, Toy Soldiers War Chest, I've been playing that. I have videos on the channel for it, and it's a really fun game. I don't know if that'll be my, stay my favorite for very long, because there's a lot of other ones out there, but currently, yes, that is probably my favorite. Current favorite. Question 3 of 21. This is going to be a while. So you might want to get some popcorn or something, because let's see. Favorite video game genre. Ooh, favorite video game genre. I like so many of them. First-person shooters, I love those. Racing games. I haven't put any of those on the channel, but I really want to do that, because those are fun. I have to say, I'm probably the fan of RPGs. I really am. It has some of my most favorite games on there, even though, and some of them can be quite interesting and quite weird, and I really enjoy that. I mean, close to that would be first-person shooters, because there's definitely some good ones out there that I enjoy, and I'm not just talking about Call of Duty here, or Battlefield, don't get the wrong idea, it's not like that. There's a lot of other ones out there that are really fun. If you haven't tried them, by all means, you should, because they're good. Let's see. Question 4, moving on. How long have you been playing video games? Well, I'd probably say since I was 7 or 8. Let's say 7. 7 sounds good. So let's see. For those of you who know my age out there, that would mean I've been playing games for 143 years. Yes, 143 years. Long time. Love games, great things, wonderful things. So, yes, long time. Let's see. Next one. What is the first video game you played? That's a toughie. So long ago. I mean, I just said 140, a long time ago. First video game I played. Let's see. It would probably be the original Mario. The original Mario and Duck Hunt. I mean, and once I started playing all of them. Just anything I could get my hands on. You know, I even moved on to the Atari, did stuff there. I moved on to... Wait, was the Atari... I think I might have done the Atari first. I think I might have done that first. Maybe. I don't know. Might have been the Atari first. I think I did that because it was very brief. I had the Atari and we played that for a little while, and then we moved on to the Nintendo quite quickly after that. So, yeah, one of those two. So either Pong or the original Mario. I can't remember which. But either way, lots of fun. Nostalgic memories right there. All right, what game have you put the most hours into? Ooh, that's a toughie. What game have I put the most hours into? It would probably be tied between 3, and I can only say that because I've put so many hours into all of them. I can hardly say which one I put more into, but obviously Chrono Trigger, because like I said, I think I've played that I don't know, at least a dozen or so times straight through. So, if not more. So, yes, that's quite a lot. Final Fantasy VIII, that was one I put... Ooh, but Final Fantasy X I put a lot of hours into, too. I do remember that. So, it might be 4. So, is that one... Final Fantasy VIII... What did you say, the Final Fantasy series? Though, mostly it's kind of the later ones in the series that I played. But 8 and 10, I know for sure I played just a ton of, because I really wanted some of those things. And, I power-levered Squall in Final Fantasy VIII, a bunch. That was interesting. Let me tell you. So, that was fun. And then the other one I could say I knew I put a lot of hours into is Borderlands 2. I put a lot of hours into that one because in order to get some of those legendary guns, you really got to put some hours into that to get some of those. But it was still fun. And it's one of those gratifications when you see that weapon drop. You're like, yes! Yes, please! That's awesome! I love it. Especially getting it was a 94% sham. Oh my goodness. Anyone knows who I'm talking about. That is I got that to drop. That took some time. So, anyways, moving on from that. What is your longest gaming session? Ooh. Now, I know some people out there have gamed straight through for quite some time, but I can't say that I've done a huge amount of time. I think straight through, non-stop, a day and a half. And I mean that. I think the only time I ever got up was to use the restroom and get a brief drink. I didn't even eat. I think I just drank and used the restroom, and that was it. A lot of soda, let me tell you. Keeping myself going because, yes, that was some fun. But, I think it's about a day and a half. Maybe 2 days. I think it was close. It was close, if not that. So, either way, a lot of fun. What is your favorite game developer? About 3 or 4, well, probably 4 or 5, roughly. 4 or 5 years ago, that would have been a hard one to say. Because there were so many good ones out there. So many game developers who were making such awesome games. I loved it, and it was always something new and exciting to see, and it was just great. Now, it's hard in a different way, because a lot of those game developers who were doing such wonderful and great things are not doing wonderful and great things anymore. It's disappointing. They've dropped the ball, so... If I had to say, it would probably be between Square Enix and Bethesda. I still have some hope in Bethesda, and I kind of there with Square Enix, because they still put out some decent stuff. Hoping the new Fallout 4 will be amazing. I'm sure it will, but it's up in the air. We never know. So we're just going to leave that one as is. So, yeah. So I think that would be it for that. Alright, question 9. Moving right along here. Favorite video game hero character? Ooh. Who would be my favorite video game character? Ooh. I mean, there are so many good ones out there. There really are. They're iconic because you play them, because you see them, and you're like, that's a cool person. I really like them. I get, That's a really tough one. Those of you out there listening to this, let me know what is your favorite. Write it in the comments below, because this is kind of a tough one. Off the top of my head, the only one that really comes directly to mind, and I'm sure there's another one out there who I would say is my more favorite video game character, but Krieg. Krieg from Borderlands 2. He was only in the second one. And I hope they continue having him in there, because he's an amazing character. I really enjoy him, and I hope they would flesh out his story a little more, because he's so fun. I always enjoy listening to him comment and stuff like that, and, his character kind of reminded me of Brick from the first one, because it's just bulk up and just start swinging and smashing, and all this, the funny commentary you get from him. I love it. So fun. I really enjoy that one. So Krieg definitely hits a high point for me on that one. So yes, I'm sure there's another one I could think of, and I'm sure some other people will make comments. I'll be like, yes, I really enjoy him as well. So, but that's the only one I can come up to the top of my head. So, moving on to question 10. Well, then we move from hero to villain. Who is your favorite villain? And there are few like him, but I'm gonna say Jack. Again, from Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel, though more from Borderlands 2. He was a villain who believed himself to be the good guy, even though he did horrific things. And it's one of those where you begin to question certain things. You're like, is he that far gone, or is he really the good guy? Because he really, really believed it. And it was amazing, but at the same time, you're like, oh my goodness, you are insane, but you're funny at the same time. And yes, that was one person. I didn't even, those of you who played the game, towards the end of the second one, when you finally get to the showdown at the very end, I didn't even know there was an option for Lilith to go ahead and take care of things. I just went up there and I was like, oh no, we're just gonna, first chance I get. I didn't even let him finish his monologue. I'm like, I am killing you. Because that's just the type of character he had. You wanted to, you love to hate him. And that's, to me, is a good sign of a good villain. You love to hate him. So yeah, there's that one. Number 11. Well, isn't that the same kind of most hated video game character? I mean, a villain, you kind of just, it's it is you're hated because you're like, but at the same time, most hated video game character. I guess you just said because he's just bad at what he does, or is he just, I kind of just, I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say I hated him, but Ryan from BioShock, even though he was a villain and the same thing, it was just like, and he had that same feeling. He was like, I'm doing the right thing, and it wasn't even close. You're like, no, dude, no. No, 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 no. You are just, oh my goodness. I felt no remorse, no pity, I'm like, I'm killing you. And that's all there is to it. And when you die, I don't really care. So it's just going to happen. All right. So I guess Ryan. I mean, again, it's one of those for the favorite characters. I'm like, I don't necessarily know. I mean, maybe. But anyways, moving on. What gaming platforms do you own? Okay. Well, grab a seat. This is going to take a little bit. So let's see. The gaming platforms that I own. Well, I did have an Atari at one point, and I did have original Nintendo. That's no longer part of the picture, but those were part of the picture at one point. I did... What is it? No, I still do. Super Nintendo. I think Doc has that around here somewhere. Super Nintendo. Nintendo 64. I was something of a Nintendo fanboy growing up. What can I say? But they had some really good games, don't be wrong. 64, especially. Those of you out there who've known and owned, you know. GoldenEye, oh my goodness. So, there's that. But, let's see. After that, I think it was the original PlayStation, the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, the Xbox 360. I have the Xbox One now. Kind of. But I have the Xbox One. And I have... Well, I had the PSP until it broke. It's horrible. Because it was fun. I enjoyed it. It had some good games. I love Dissidia and Dissidia and Disgaea on it. Is Disgaea? Yeah, Disgaea. And I had a Wii. Haven't had a Wii U. Have not had that. I have had the original Game Boy Color, and now I have a 3DS Game Boy. So, yeah, I mean, and those are that. And I do have a PC of sorts, so that's here, obviously. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking to you like this. So, but yeah, so I believe that's everything. Yeah, pretty sure. Okay, moving on. First gaming platform. Well, again, that's hard to say. You know what? It was Atari. Atari came first. Had to have, because Atari came out first for Nintendo. But anyways, yes, Atari. Moving on to 14. Favorite gaming platform and why? That's a toughie. Why are all these favorites in here? It's hard to say. Favorites. I really am partial to the PlayStation, but I'm also partial. The N64 had such fun games. I loved those. I mean, you had GoldenEye, you had Conker's Bad Fur Day, you had the Mario Kart. I mean, it was... there was some fun games, and Ocarina of Time. Oh my goodness, yes. How could I forget that one? Whew. So, there was some really fun ones on there. I mean, and I do like what's coming out on PC a lot, because, well, that's a thing, and it happens, and it's fun. So, there is that. So, I mean, honestly, it's hard to say. Really hard to say on that one. Because there's a lot of good things for each of them. And again, that's the reason why I do what I do. Because I think everyone, no matter what they game on, what they have, is as long as you're gaming, you're a gamer, and it should be treated as such. So, I mean, that's kind of what I do and what I stand for. So, to say which one out of all of them, it's like I love them all for all different reasons. So, sorry, can't quite answer that one. Do you prefer guy or girl characters? I really don't care. I really don't. I mean, I guess like I usually will pick guy just out of habit, but every now and then I'll pick a girl just to mix things up, and if I have to play as a girl, I don't care. It's just like, okay, it happens. Just having fun. Most of the time, I just want to get in there. I'm like, I mean, a lot of times I'm just like, well, who looks better? Does that look better as a girl or a guy? I like, because like playing WoW. Yes, I have WoW, been playing WoW, doing whatever. But playing WoW, I look at it and I'm like, a lot of times I'll create a character. I'll pick the class and I'll pick everything else and I'll look at it and go, well, now does that look better as a guy or as a girl? I mean, a lot of times it doesn't really matter, but either way, I'm just like, so I mean, it doesn't really matter. Next one, do you use walkthroughs or not? Being an RPG player, I know where I'm going, I know what I'm doing, and I can figure things out. And the older RPGs, for those of you who have played some of the older RPGs, you know there's some hard things in those RPGs. But a lot of times, you kind of did need them. But these days, games are just becoming so much easier. I mean, there are some challenging ones out there. Don't get me wrong. I know out of you out there are already typing on the keyboard saying, oh my goodness, you don't know Dark Souls and all those. It's as hard as, it's like, but it's kind of not. I mean, it goes back and forth. So, I mean, yeah, it's, in the olden times, listen to me, in the olden times, back in my day, I use the older RPGs. I would use some walkthroughs on. A lot of times I would do things on my own, but if I really had a question about something, yes, I would use walkthroughs. But for the most part, no. Especially currently, I'm like, no, I've got this. This is fine. I understand the principles and everything works perfectly fine, so why would I? So, that's a question there. Moving on, 17. Almost done. Have you ever been to a gaming convention? Well, if any of you have been following me on my networks, you know, yes, I have. I've been to a couple, and I hope to go to many more. Because it's my way of getting out there and meeting you guys. And I love doing that sort of thing. I love meeting new people, saying hi, and having fun. It's kind of, again, it's part of what I do, so therefore, yes. But I have been to RTX. I have been to... was it the Classic Gaming Festival here? There was in Texas, yes, and yeah. So I mean, I've been to a couple, and I hope to go through more. I mean, I want to do even more than just gaming conventions. I want to do comic conventions, and just anything, convention of anything, as long as I can be there, as I am, because some people kind of don't necessarily like me as I am. But hey, their problem, not mine. Then I will do it. So, absolutely. Good things, good times. What future game are you most excited for? Ooh, what future game? Well, the only thing that comes to mind is something I mentioned earlier, which would be Fallout 4. I really look forward to that one. I probably should get back to New Vegas, but it didn't seem like too many people kind of liked it. Not because it was getting too difficult. Don't get me wrong there. It's not because of that at all. It's not at all. What are you talking about? It was just because, it didn't seem like a lot of people were paying attention or wanting to watch it. So I was like, hey, whatever. So we just moved on to other games. Eventually, I might go back to it and play some more of it. It's not like I haven't played it before, so therefore, yes, I probably could and should. But hey, but yeah, Fallout 4. I'm hoping it's going to be really good. I'm hoping there's going to be a lot of things for it. And then I guess also I'm kind of interested in Battleborn. Because that's from 2K, who they kind of dropped the ball on... they kind of dropped the ball on the pre-sequel for Borderlands. But I hope they will do better on this one. I mean, it's not Borderlands, but it kind of has a lot of the same feel to it, so hopefully, yes, things will go well on that. So, yes, those are the games I'm most looking forward to in the future. And I'm sure there are other ones, but those are just kind of the ones that popped into my head. Alright, last 3 questions. Best memory of a video game? Well, there's a lot of good things that could be said. Um, Obviously, playing Borderlands, as I said before, having the 94% sham drop, that was really fun. But I will say, and I know there's a lot of other people out there who will agree with me on a lot of this, but video games for a lot of people are, as I think I've mentioned before, if not, well, sorry, I should have, but video games are an escape for people. It's a way for people to get away from their day-to-day lives or problems and just have fun and be able to do things like that. But I know when someone near and dear to me passed away, right after that, someone gave me a PlayStation. And that was the first PlayStation I had. And they had me playing Final Fantasy VIII. And that might be why it is one of my favorite, one of the games I've played the most of, because it was a way for me to delve into games, and it really helped me in a lot of ways to be able to take my mind off of things and focus more on something more abstract that I didn't have to think much about. So I know that to me, even though it was a sadder part in my life, it was also a good part in my life too, because it really allowed me to stay focused and stay within myself without getting too far away from what is important. So to get a little bit happier in that, there was I guess a good memory as well too, that when I was really young, it's hard to remember that time frame, but when I was really young, there were basically times when I would come home from school. I was the wee little lad. I would come home from school on Fridays, and my parents would have rented a game, and they would have played it. Usually if it was a one you could go head-to-head with somebody on, they would have played it for a while so they could get really good at it, and they would challenge me when I got home, and they would beat me, at least for a little while. But then afterwards, after probably about a good hour or so, I would start beating them, and eventually when it became a no contest, they decided they had enough, and would just let me play. But those were good memories. Those were really good memories as well, because again, it's something you really enjoy, and especially getting close. I mean, you out there, if you have parents who even have a remote interest in that sort of thing, by all means, tell them, let them know. I would love to play with you, because sometimes they don't know and they don't realize these things. And it's fun. Even if they're not that great at it, it's still fun. It's still fun to have that closeness and be able to do those things with each other. And if your parents out there, maybe you're watching me, I don't know why or whatnot, but by all means, try and get out there and have some fun with your kids. Play these games, because they're a lot of fun, and they will enjoy it, and they will treasure those moments, and those are sometimes the only thing that you have. So by all means, good memories, good memories. And then the counter to that is worst memory of a video game. I know we've all had this issue. I know we've all had these problems, but one of my worst memories of a video game, it was only when I was playing a video game, wasn't because of a video game, but I had been playing Legend of Dragoon, and I had locked in a lot of hours power leveling, and trust me, that when you do that in power leveling, these things happen, but I locked in a lot of hours power leveling, and for no apparent reason, the power went off. And because I'd been power leveling, even though I had gone up a couple levels, I want to say I'd probably started at level 1 and went to level 10 or something around there, playing Legend of Dragoon, which is a very fun game, by all means. Anyone out there, please play it, because it's a great game. But I'd never saved. So, always something you should know and learn, especially did that during Skyrim and Fallout. You should always save at any potential possibility you have, because you just never know. You never know when the power is going to go off, when your character is going to get killed, or some crazy thing's going to happen. So there is that. Worst memory that I'm sure we all can share in that regards. And then finally, which video game character represents you? Whew. That's a toughie. You know what? I would love for anyone out there to tell me what video game character they think represents me. But if I had to pick one off the top of my head, it would honestly be Krieg. Because, I mean, as I said before, he's a really fun guy. He's a bit crazy, insane, but he's still really fun to play with, and he has just a great personalities, and, you know, I don't know why that would make a similarity between me, no clue, but anyways, but yeah, I think he's just got a wonderful personality, and great to be around with, and just fun and funny, so... but if anyone has any other one out there that they can think of, that's just what I can think of off the top of my head. But if anyone else that has a video game character they think would more be suited to me, by all means, let me know. Leave a comment below and let me know. So, I think that's all. That's all the questions that were given to me. Again, I won't be tagging anyone else. Sorry, I know you want to continue these things. But if you make one of these videos like this and have these questions, by all means, you know, let me know. Link me to it. I'd love to watch and see your take on it. And any of these ones that I asked for help and letting you know what you think I should have answered with, by all means, leave a comment below and let me know. So... and the link for the original video where I was tagged in will be left in the description below. So, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video for whatever it was worth. A little insight into me, as it were. So, but I will see you in the next video. Bye. Bye.